the tournament organizer, is handling the table assignments. One thing that we should probably point out right now, and you'll probably hear Miranda reiterate this as she finishes seating people, is that the order of the play from yesterday, so the order that I just read off with Reiner at the top, is the player seeds for the tournament. And so that's the person, so Reiner is the person who did the best yesterday. He was our only player with 3 wins, so he's the top seed. That's important because the top seeds on each table, there is reason to have done well yesterday that carries over to today, because Reiner, for example, on his table as the top seed is not only is going to be able to choose where he wants to start in the turn order. So there's no die roll to see who goes first. Reiner is going to be able to look at the table and determine whether he wants to go first, second, third, or fourth.
And the individual, top 4 individuals, since they were the best performers, those people for each of those individual 4 boards that we have here will also have that privilege, as the number 1 seed is going to be playing against the number 8 seed, the number 9 seed, and the number 16 seed. And those will break out. So the top 4 seeds will be on the 4 different boards, and will have the honor of choosing what chair they want to sit in.
So it's just another level of decision-making on how critical it is, the normal, usual level of critical decision-making that comes into determining how you're going to play a board. Let's take a look now at the board that we're going to be using this morning for the semifinals.
Okay, so I take this for me.
We had to have a balanced starting lineup here. There was some discussion amongst the players on where to go as far as the first placement, the second placement, whether or not you'd actually want to try to attempt to corner the ore market in this game, and whether or not it'd be actually worth chasing that.
Yeah, it's definitely, ore is going to be of some concern, but if you look at that brick as well, outside of that 8 that sits there on the north side of the board, I'm not sure I'd be terribly happy with either of the other ones as well. So as usual, the 2 resources that only have 3 hexes on the board already start as a little bit of a premium, and are going to be probably even more so in this game. Now, one of the things that they're of course going to be looking at, and this is sort of initial settlement selection 101, if you will, is the chance that they're going to be getting something out of any given intersection. So not only, of course, is it a sheer look at what resources may be tight or whatever, but it's a simple matter of figuring out where it is that you're going to be choosing an initial starting segment based on the chance you're going to get something in the first place. We've actually taken the board and taken a quick look at things. And if we look at the graphic that's currently up on the screen, of course, every dot on the U.S. edition, there are dots underneath which show the probabilities of numbers. Each dot represents about a 2.8% chance that you're going to get something on a die roll. So if we look at the board, you can see that the middle of the board is going to be the hot spots where most everything is going to be sitting there. So there's an example of in the U.S. edition. So you can see that the dots represent the fact that a 6 is going to be 5 times more likely to be rolled than a 2. 2 has about a 2.8% of producing, and 6 is much higher than that. So that's what they're looking at right now. Let's go ahead and take a listen in on Miranda Darnell and Jim Miles, who are the tournament coordinators, as they give the final instructions to the contestants.
Good morning, guys. Congratulations on making the top 16.
Thank you.
The rules don't change. They all stay the same. As you see printed on your sheets, all right, at the bottom are the names. The first person gets to pick their starting position, and so on down the road. So Herbert can pick position 1 to start. He can pick position 3. Then you guys continue to choose according to the list. And then please rotate your seats and make sure you mark on the sheets. We know who is in position 1, 2, 3, and 4 once you guys are seated. Today, the only thing that counts is a win. You don't need points, you just need a win. We are going to take one person from each table. We'll advance to the final round this afternoon. Any questions? Good luck. And let's begin.
Yeah, let us have a nice game.
All right.
So now that all the contestants were seated, now they'll probably do some dancing around as they decide what positions they actually want to participate in, depending on their seating.
Right. Now, statistically, again, we did an analysis a few years back on a number of elements within our Catan tournament, and it turns out that for the most part, the position that performed the best, the best chance statistically of winning, was going to be for the players that went second, believe it or not. So second seemed to be the best balance between the positions that you would get and the choices that you would have left after your first choice, at least, certainly. So right now, of course, this is a pretty critical decision. Not only are you get to choose where you're going to put your starting settlements, but you actually get to choose in which order you are going to select those settlements. So it's just an extra little decision-making step for the best players in the world that they normally don't have to think about. Normally, the dice is just going to dictate what it is that they have. So it's always interesting to see how they handle this aspect of the game setup.
Once they've decided that, we will get the actual positions that they have decided. So we'll see if they actually buck the trend here. My argument for this particular board would be actually to go last and go in the fourth position, which from the statistical standpoint is the second best, but we'll see what the contestants actually decide here.
So let's give you a quick rundown on who is on what table. So on table 1, we have Rainer Biala, who's our highest seed, so he'll be choosing first across the 4 players as far as where he wants to go. On that table then, in 8th seed is Manuel Catarino from Portugal. Evan Walters from the USA is in the 9th seed and also on that table 1. And William Barbosa is the 4th seed, the 4th highest seed on table 1. Table 2, we have Austria, Herbert Schager versus Vincent Gann, Ricky Zappia from Australia, and Luis Diego Mangasoto from Costa Rica. That's our table 2. Table 3 is Erwin Paulson, William Benvenuto, Bijan from the UK, and Justinas from Lithuania. And finally, on our table 4, highest seed is Mihai from Romania. Chiwai Cham is 2nd seed. David Saltzgar is 3rd, and Murray Solberg is our 4th seeded contestant on table 4. So that's your rundown of table 4, of the 4 tables. And again, today is all about winning. 2 wins and you're the champion. You are the world champion for 2012. So the winner on each table will move on to the final round. That final round, by the way, will be at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time this afternoon. So which is approximately 4 hours from where we are right now. So certainly if you've joined us for the semifinals, we're hoping you will join us again for the finals as well. All right, so we have a lot of staring continuing during the setup phase of the tournament here for the moment. So last night, of course, we narrowed down the field in a marathon day of Catan. We had 2 games go very, very long. For the folks that stayed with us on live stream all day, especially those of you in Europe, we apologize. But hopefully it was entertaining to get us to the point where we were and the 16 players that we have this morning. And of course, many of the players did stick around last night to play open gaming with the other contestants, and I was, as always, surprised at the number of Catan sets that were broken out last night. So, heaven forbid that we don't stop playing Catan after the tournament is over. So
we have 42 people playing here. Over 4 rounds of intense competition.
But normally I don't.
Then, what do to kick back? Let's open up another game of Catan.
Exactly. Although we do have a few oddities. A number of people were playing the new Star Trek Catan. We had a variety of things that were available. And it's really been a weekend of activity. Certainly on Friday when players arrived, not only were they treated to a wonderful dinner and a chance to meet all the different contestants, they also had the opportunity to view the magical stylings of Michael Mirth, who is a magician, a professional magician, as well as being a game store owner. And so Michael was put on a great show for us over Friday night's dinner. We also had the Fiddlers of Catan, and it's a klezmer Americana music group that gave us some musical entertainment through the course of the evening. Again, a lot of our contestants were coming from a long way away and decided to maybe get a good night's rest before the tournament started. But it was a really nice evening. It was a great chance for us to kind of meet